What's the best way for not-so-good-looking people to get laid? Work on yourself and better yourself, but do it for you and not for others. Take care of yourself by practicing good hygiene, getting clothes that fit, working out, etc. Get an interesting hobby so you have things to talk about. If it's a social hobby, you might meet someone doing it. Confidence, but not arrogance, is very attractive, as is being kind, funny, empathetic, caring, etc. Desperation is a huge turnoff, so that's why you need to do it for yourself, not just to attract someone. All these things help make an ugly person more attractive. Looks aren't everything. You can see that if you go out to a restaurant on a Friday night. Look around. You'll see not conventionally attractive people out on dates with new people or with their partners. Something's getting them those dates and partners, and it isn't just looks. Plenty of average and below average people find someone. It can be harder, but there are steps to make it easier. TLDR, remove sex as your entire focus and do the below for yourself. In my experience, relationships and intimacy of the physical and emotional kind came once I stopped focusing on that and just chose to be myself and improve myself. So, details. 1. Improve yourself as a person to become one that someone would want to be with. Think in terms of physical, social, spiritual, and intellectual aspects of yourself, if you haven't already. 2. Then practice listening to people, not just enough to form a response, but to really understand what they're saying and understand the between the lines. Ask questions to solidify your understanding of what they're saying and the between-the-lines things. And talk to and listen to everybody, not just the attractive or really interesting people, because you'll be surprised what you can learn from the people you meet. 3. As you master active listening, make an effort to take interest in things others are interested in, and become your best self. Things will fall into place, and you'll find someone you can connect with, and maybe even decide to spend your life with. No guarantees, but if you're being your best self, then you don't have to have someone either. You can be content with yourself and the friends you make along the way. Conclusion? Doing these things and doing my best to continue self-improvement, I was able to meet, connect with, and eventually marry a wonderful, drop-dead gorgeous woman who puts up with me through thick and thin. She's well out of my league, but she still chose me. Like a Jenna Coleman deciding to marry Quasimodo. And she's continued to choose me for the last 10+ years. Even though I've had major mental health issues over the years, we've been broke a few times and everything. We've persevered. We're there for one another and our children, and it all started with a refocus and reprioritizing my life. Trust me, and this is coming from a fat, 50s balding, ugly bloke. Looks are way down on the list of reasons another person wants to jump your bones. That might be a reason someone will talk to you in the first place, but it won't make them stay for the fun if you're arrogant, dim, unpleasant, boring, or just not fun. For tips, 1. Learn to dance. Knowing how to dance makes you walk differently somehow, and I'm told that knowing how to move vertically signals you know how to do the same horizontally. 2. Have a hobby or a passion. Interesting, ugly people get laid at least as much as boring, pretty ones. 3. Be confident. Yeah, this is a tricky one, because if you're worried you won't get laid, then you won't be confident. So go into any potential intimate situation assuming you won't get lucky. Sounds weird, huh? But if you're assuming sex is off the table, then the will it, won't it happen is gone, and you can relax, have fun, find out more about the other person, tell them more about yourself, and before you know it... So, and I know this is hard for you to believe, stopping worrying about getting laid is the most likely way to get laid. You might not like this, but it's just the truth. No judgment, so if my words have that tone, it's not meant that way. I'm a bit sardonic. Here's the 2 most successful ways. The best most successful method is to change your mindset. Think about why you find this a priority. Lust? Clout? An actual relationship? Whichever motivation you find, remember, it takes you and another consenting adult human being who deserves to be respected as a person. Setting getting laid as a goal is not going to get you anything meaningful. However, if you just want to get your dick wet, don't give a shit about people, don't see your potential co-participant as anything more than an object who is a means to an end, don't mind using them to achieve these shallow goals, or any combination of any of the above, then the next best, most successful method is to lie. Say whatever it is they want to hear until you've successfully scored, then go ghost. You'll probably end up hurting someone, unless they were equally shallow, but the upside is, doesn't matter, had sex, am I right? If this advice upset you, or you weren't looking for an answer like this, you're free to downvote if you like, but please comment as to why you were offended, because I'm new to Reddit, and I'm curious and open to other perspectives. TLDR, tell them you want a relationship. Honestly, coming from a woman, I just went over my standards list with my therapists today. Here you go. Have a sense of humor. Be easy to talk to. Have a good vibe. Don't make me force every sentence out of you. Be confident. Regardless of how you look, confidence goes a long way, just not cocky. And if you ask to follow on Snapchat or Insta, I've already lost interest. Be patient. Most of us, women and men alike, have baggage. We have emotional trauma. Some things we get nitpicky about may not even be about you. Hold your head on and try to figure out what's going on before jumping on the defense and or getting angry. Do you have a car? Good. Check. Do you have a job? Awesome. But is it stable? If not, are you working towards that? That's all we women really want. Do you live with your parents still? If so, either have a really good reason, or if not, then maybe you shouldn't try to find a long-term relationship until you've settled on a flat or apartment. Just communicate. It's not that hard. We don't want long, deep conversations all the time. We just want to know what the fuck is going on in your head. Women and to men. Most women are self-conscious, so even the smallest compliment, "Your hair looks cute like that," can make our fucking day. I can list more, but really, we women aren't that hard to please, I swear to God. Get as healthy as humanly possible. No matter how much we try to deny the inevitable, the first attraction is physical attraction. If you don't have an attractive face, yes, beauty is in the eye, but again, reality. Work out. Tone up your body. Plenty of attraction studies out there show healthy people naturally are more appealing. Makes sense if you can think about it from a natural selection perspective. We want a mate that looks like they can carry on our genetics. The surefire option is hitting up a corner, LOL. If you're insulted by this comment, good. Hopefully it will start the process of change for the good. Best of luck on your adventures in getting laid. Don't try to get laid. Try first to have other human interactions. Actually enjoying interacting with people makes them more attractive. The opposite is also true. I can testify to this, as I've known and slept with people who were extremely attractive physically, but upon learning more about who they were as people, the physical attraction died on the vine. I'm talking people who were objectively my type in every physical way, but who just couldn't light the fire now if they tried. Or, if you're just after hookups, there are apps for that. Have lower standards, but generally, most people can take care of their option to look better. Go to the gym to get thinner or more muscular. Dress better. Take care of your skin. Have a good haircut. Braces. Get a nice perfume. Piercings. Tattoos. Whitened teeth. Other accessories. Facial hair grooming and posture. There are many things that you haven't tried to do in order to improve your appearance, which can also improve your confidence. Super important for your game. Trust me, if you take care of your appearance, you are going to increase your looks by at least 2 points. I've known ugly people who've pulled dimes. In fact, a friend from college who is exceptionally below average height got laid the most by far out of my friend group. He had confidence and an attitude where if he got rejected, he didn't care. He just wanted to have a good time, and no rejection could stop him from achieving that. So how do you get to that point? You gotta control what you can. 1. Take care of yourself. Dress well. Brush your teeth. No bad breath. Make sure you're groomed, etc. 2. Put yourself out there. Try not to think too much about it. But for example, go out to a bar and force yourself to talk to 3 girls. Doesn't have to be much. Just get in the habit of it. Everybody, including the most handsome guy on the planet, has gotten rejected before. Learn to not fear it. 3. When you go out, have fun. Happy people having a good time are naturally attractive and draw attention. Don't take it too seriously. Have fun, and with rejections will come funny stories you can later tell. Go out not with the intention of getting laid, but of having a good time. The rest will come later. Once you get the hang of it, all of this stuff will turn into experience plus confidence, and with that comes girls. Good luck. Have fun. Kind, funny, confident. You don't need to think you're the hottest in the room, but be ignorantly confident. By ignorantly confident, I mean so confident that all the little things people typically get hung up on worrying about, i.e., what did Sarah mean by that comment? Gosh, I really feel like the odd man out in this group. You're so stable in who you are and what you're doing that these things don't affect you because they truly don't mean shit. Be so fine with yourself that this shit doesn't cross your mind. So when you're at the party, engaged in a conversation with people, I would say a lot of people who consider themselves unattractive, instead of diluting like 40% of your brain power over worries that are ultimately petty shit, you can just enjoy being there and focus on whatever is being said and make deeper connections with people. A lot of people talk about the magnetism of certain people. I believe that magnetism we attribute to certain people and personalities comes from observing a human who is so deeply absorbed in and embracing the human experience. No, it doesn't have to be outlandish or loud, just calm, open, and honest. Confidence equals stability and peace in one's own existence. And really, that's the main shebang, man. Basically, look as good as you possibly can by taking care of yourself and going to the gym, and try to get laid by people on your level of attractiveness or slightly above. Hell, shoot for the stars even, but you have to have at least a few things going for you if you're not particularly attractive. For instance, I have a big nose. I've always fucking hated my nose because I'm a pale white boy, not some ethnicity where having a more dominant nose is normal. Never got attention from girls all throughout school until I finally just stopped giving a shit my senior year. Went from the geek with the big nose to the laid-back stoner and got my first girlfriend when I was 18. I had plenty of women afterward, and pulled my more attractive partners when I was around 26 because I'd turned into a gym rat by that point. Seriously, if you take nothing else away from this post, just know that, especially as a man, your face can be a 4, but if your body is an 8 or a 9, you will do just fine. Confidence comes with being physically fit, and that also helps. And personality. What worked for me personally was never being overly flirty and pretending to be uninterested or uncaring. I'd talk to any girl the same way I'd talk to one of my guy friends, only toned down a bit. Being charismatic is basically the number one way to get laid. If you need to learn how to be charismatic, put yourself in uncomfortable social situations regularly. Bars, clubs, etc. Fuck up in social situations, learn from your mistakes, and get better at it each fuck up. Try forcing your personality a little to figure out how much is too much versus not enough. Good posture, good hygiene, getting in shape, finding good clothes that fit, finding a scent that goes well with you, learning how to talk to people, learning how to make good jokes. Just doing all those things, I think, instantly adds at least +4 to anyone. So a 2 turns into a 6. Not that we should reduce people to numbers. I'm going to assume this is for guys, since a woman is only an r/r4r post and 15 minutes away from being laid, lol. Superficial answer is workout. Plenty of butterface guys out there that do well. Real answer? Be the best version of you. Stop trying to get laid. Do things you love. Go on adventures. Have great stories to tell. Have a life worth sharing. Tons of ugly guys out there pulling above their league. Pete Davidson being a good example. 1. Not have your endgame be getting laid. 2. Try and date other people who are not so good looking. 3. Have an attractive personality. 4. If steps 1, 2, and 3 all fail repeatedly for an extended period of time, acknowledge that your personality sucks and make some changes. Have an extremely active social life. This makes you hotter no matter what you look like, and it additionally gives you more opportunities. And lower your standards. There are definitely big groups of friends who all basically fuck at each other's houses and have big parties and stuff around you. Try to find them, and then you will definitely have sex. Nick Offerman's advice to learn a skill can go a long way. His example is woodworking, but any task you enjoy that allows you to create something will work. Cooking, painting, woodworking, etc. Something that requires planning, creativity, focus, determination, and effort, because those are all qualities people find attractive. When you're a stranger, faces look ugly when you're alone. It's been proven by studies that someone's perceived attractiveness is less negative when presented along with a group of people rather than individually. So gather some friends and pair it with a good sense of humor, and you're halfway there. I know plenty of ugly people who have husbands and wives. Some of them even have the personality of a cardboard box. Sometimes you just get lucky. Sometimes you've got to be funny or charismatic, but you always have to take the chances. You miss every chance you don't take. To quote some other corner of the internet, remember that women aren't sex machines that you can put compliment coins into for sex. There's no quick and easy method that answers this kind of question. The best way is to treat people with the respect owed a person and not a ticket to your next orgasm. Charm. Listen to them, like actually pay attention to how they are and what they like, and play into that. Engage them in conversation. Talk about them, not about you. The less you try to force sex into the conversation, the better. Don't go in trying to get laid. Go in trying to be charming and likable. The sex will follow. Find another not-so-good-looking person who shares at least some of your interests, and develop a relationship. Don't be creepy. Seriously, look at the things so-called nice guys do, and do the opposite. Don't think sex is something you're owed for things like friendship. Develop a personality, have good hygiene to the standard of the culture you're living in. Get and stay in the best physical shape you can. Seek therapy if you need it. Constantly improve your mind. Take care of your living space, i.e., don't be a slob. Well, definitely not apps like Tinder. They're based solely off of looks. Your best bet is to play up your personality and head to a club or bar. So long as you're nice and not giving empty compliments, you look so hot, instead try, I like the way your dress complements your figure. You have a pretty good shot. I don't know, man. I just said dumb shit. She started laughing, and now here I am 4 years in a relationship, and I still have no idea how. Nah, for real, being fun to be around and funny is a huge plus, also being open-minded. The fact that I can listen to someone info dump for hours about their passion seems like an important part of how I got laid, I guess. Also, remember to be good-looking for someone. Personal hygiene and stuff, obviously. Even if you're good-looking, if your breath smells like a rotting bull's anus, you ain't getting the ass. My friend is overweight and not good-looking. He doesn't even dress well, smell good, and barely makes any money. His past and current girlfriend are significantly more attractive than him. The reason he got them is because he's extremely charismatic, confident, social, and fun. He goes to a lot of social events, invites people to do things with him, and invests a lot of time keeping in touch with people. I know I can't save anyone else a decade of hunting around and falling down over a lack of partnership, but I wanted to share what took me a lot of lumps to learn. Pushing myself to try things and different social situations was my goal in my early 20s. A decade later, I've learned many things from that time. Mainly that I don't like bars or clubs, and that people who go to bars and clubs typically do so because they like them, leading to more bars and clubs than I cared for. The valuable lesson this taught me was to go where folks like me will be. Even if it's online dating, finding a place where you feel you can be yourself among folks who have similar interests and intentions is integral. I thought I was broadening my horizons when I ended up with someone whose interests were completely different from mine. What I was really doing was settling for who would have me, and didn't know myself enough to understand that I needed to work on myself rather than find a partner. What has helped me the most was to challenge my assumptions about partnering. I had to acknowledge that beauty actually is in the eye of the beholder, and I did not possess an eye for my own beauty. Sublimity is a myth, and we are all individuals, so there will only ever be billions of perspectives on who or what is beautiful. I had to figure out that someone who is right for me will find me attractive, and that if I don't like myself, then it's probably because I still believe some stupid shit about conventional attraction. Then I had to understand compatibility. I know what my values are, and I'm more willing to wait and find someone who genuinely lives those values as well. Your values could be demonically good sex and excellent conversation, in addition to moral, social, political stuff. And those still ought to be, at least briefly, thought through, or you'll not have a clear rubric for who actually satisfies your needs. If you don't know who you are, you won't know who you're looking for or when you've found them. Finally, I really super extra needed to have some backbone where boundaries were concerned. This involved working on feeling I had a right to them because my looks had nothing to do with my value as a partner or human. I thought that because I didn't look like insert attractive person here, I couldn't object to a partner's requests because they might not want to be with me, however long that was expected to be. I've learned that good people want clear boundaries, bad people want terrible boundaries, and saying yes when you can't possibly deliver is a great way to end up alone and or victimized. If you say what you need and your partner gives you a crappy answer, they aren't worth being with. They don't have to agree or immediately acquiesce, but disagreement is a good way to find out how well that person reasons, empathizes, and handles mismatched needs and desires. Also, being able to communicate boundaries prior to sex is enormously important, because if you don't feel comfortable talking with your clothes on, you'll probably not feel more comfortable once things become even more intimate. If you can't say no, then think about that. Do you not feel you deserve to have your needs honored? Is your partner pressuring you? It takes time to know what you want and to be able to articulate that during sexy times. But the lowest the bar should go is feeling capable of saying no, later, or let's switch it up. In summary, find yourself beautiful, and if you don't, think about why. Know yourself in and outside of the context of hooking up, because you have to live 100% of your life with you. And you'll have more fun if you skip to what you love. And good boundaries make good lovers. To borrow a phrase from TTRPGs, no sex is better than bad sex. There were partners I learned from, and there were partners who made me move across the country so I never had to share a coast with them again. I would have had far more of the former, a whole lot sooner too, if someone had said what it means to just be yourself. Be you just as you are, and be patient. 8 billion people takes a bitch ton of time to see, meet, learn about, and decide if you like them. Be selfish with your time. Be stringent with your standards, and strive for the relationship that fits you best.